Welcome back to Low Stress Math with Mrs. Bono. We're on Unit 3, Lesson 8, the hardest multi-step equations I'm going to make you do. It's okay, it's okay. Low stress, low stress. Let's just write that up here. Lesson 8, solving multi-step equations. Solving more multi-step equations. All right. Do the warm-up. Turn off the video, do the warm-up, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I really, really, really hope that you did these problems. You know, the only way to learn math is to do math. So let's do some math. Negative 4 times 1. Well, that's negative 4. Plus negative 4 times 9 is negative 36x. Wait a second. I have double signs here. I don't like double signs. Well, remember, we've talked about this before. Plus a negative is the same as subtraction. So you can just rewrite that as negative 4 minus 36x. Okay, not too bad so far. All right, negative 6 times a. Okay, negative 6a. Now here's a trick. See that subtraction sign? Remember how subtraction is really plus a negative? I'm going to change this to plus negative. Now when I do it, negative 6 times negative 8 plus 48. There you go. Not too bad. Sometimes it's a pain, but sometimes it helps. Here we go. Last one. Oh, invisible math. Between this negative sign and that parenthesis is the dreaded invisible 1. Dun, 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 dun. I'm just going to put a 1 there. Now I'm going to multiply negative 1 times everything that's in the parentheses. So, negative 1 times 1, negative 1. Negative 1 times 7x, negative, 7k. Yeah, I'm old. Here we go. Oh, double signs again. Well, you know, those double signs, that's just a minus in disguise. So, negative 1 minus 7k. Okay, not too bad. Now, you know how much I love you? I love you guys so much that I typed out all the steps to solving multi-step equations so you don't have to write them. But let's talk about them. All right, clear parentheses using distributive property. But if there's a fraction outside of the parentheses, first multiply by the least common denominator to get rid of it. But if there's a fraction in the parentheses, multiply by the least common denominator to cancel any denominators. All right, combine like terms. Add or subtract the, we've talked about this, constant. Now, what's the constant? Well, let's write it up here. The constant is a number that you add or subtract, but that it doesn't have a variable. So the constant is a number that does not have a variable. I'm going to write capital N-O-T, and I'm going to put a box around it because that's important. Does not have a variable. Now, what about this other word? Multiply or divide by the coefficient. Now we remember this from way back in the beginning when we were doing, exponent rules. The coefficient is the number that you multiply times the variable. So here we go. Coefficient is also a number, is the number times the variable. I'm just going to extend my little box and go over like that. Okay, so let's look up at these examples up here. In this example, -4 is the constant and 36 is the coefficient. Well, actually, -6 is the coefficient and 48 is the constant. In this one, -1 is the constant, but 7 is the coefficient. The coefficient is next to the variable. And it doesn't matter if it comes after or before. It's always next to the variable. All right, let's keep going. Check your answer. Please check your answers. Here we go, down here. Let's do some math. Yeah. All right, maybe not as exciting as all that. Here we go, make it a little bit bigger so that you can see what I'm doing and I can see what I'm doing. Let's clear that up a little bit. There you go. -2 times 2 is -4. Keep the x. Coefficient, variable. -2 times 7 is -14. Constant. Wait a second, Bono. You didn't write plus a negative. You know what? You're right. I didn't. I just knew that it was going to be plus -2 times second, -14. So I just did that part in my head. I said, all right, it's going to be plus -14. So I'll just write -14. It's the same thing. Here we go. Equals -26. Okay, now I can solve it. The inverse of subtract 14 is to add 14. And I'm going to add 14 on both sides. Oh, look, I found a red pen that worked. Yay me. -14 plus 14 is 0. And -26 plus 14. The signs are different, so you subtract. 26 is larger than 14, so it's -12. Oh, look what I forgot. -4x on the other side. There we go. -4x equals -12. Okay, and the inverse of -4 times x, divide by -4 on both sides. -4 divided by -4, 1. And -12 divided by -4 is 3. So x equals 3. Now, I feel like I have to check it because that was just a little too easy, wasn't it? Okay, here we go. -2 times 2 times 3 plus 7. 2 times 3 is 6. So -2 times 6 plus 7. 6 plus 7 is 13. -2 times 13. -2 times 13 is -26. Look at that. That was the answer I was looking for. Happy, happy, it checked. Matter of fact, I'm going to write check up here. Check. And now, you try. Try the problem and try the check. Take a deep breath, turn off the video, and do the problem. All right, I trust you. I think you did this problem. Maybe I don't trust you, but I'm hoping you did the problem. Let's do this. -3 times +3 is -9x. -3 times 7. Ooh, this is going to be that plus a negative thing. I know that. -3 times 7 minus 21 equals -14. I did not let it trick me. All right. The inverse of subtract 21 and add 21 to both sides. Okay. -9 minus 21 plus 21, that's 0. Negative 9x equals negative 14 plus 21 is positive 7. Okay. Now to get rid of that negative 9, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 9. And I get x equals 7 divided by negative 9. Now I could write it like that. That's fine. Or I kind of like this way a little bit better, where it's x equals, and I put the negative in front, and then 7 over 9. So that means the whole thing is negative. And that negative sign could go with the numerator, it could go with the denominator. Remember, when you divide by a negative, your answer is negative. It doesn't matter which number is negative. So I kind of like that better, but it's okay. Doesn't matter either way. All right, let's check this baby. Oh no, we have to check with a fraction as an answer. Yes, it's okay. You'll be fine. You'll survive. Here we go. Check. Negative 3 times 3 times negative 7 over 9 plus 7 parentheses. All right, right away I know that 3 goes into 3 once and 3 goes into 9 3 times. So this is going to come down to be negative 7 over 3. Okay, that's cool. Now, negative 3 plus 7. Can I do the distributive property, or do I have to do what's in the parentheses first? I kind of want to do the distributive property because I want to get rid of the negative sign and I want to get rid of the 3. And multiplying by negative 3 does both those things. So let's do that. Yeah? Here we go. I'm going to do this. Negative 3 over 1 times negative 7 over 3 plus, and that's just going to be negative 3 times 7. And I'm running out of paper because, you know, think ahead. Now look, negative 3 divided by negative 3, positive 7, plus negative 3 times 7, negative 21. Well, 7 plus negative 21 is negative 14, and that is my answer from up here, way down here, negative 14. So yay, it worked. Oh, thank goodness. I was worried. Here we go. Next. All right. Now we have some for real fractions. Come on, let's get rid of those. Okay, how can we get rid of those? Least common denominator. And the least common denominator between 3 and 6 is 6. So I'm going to multiply this whole equation by 6. Now remember, you don't have to do what's in the parentheses. I am not multiplying by y plus 7. And guess what? I'm not going to multiply by these denominators either. I'm only going to multiply by the numerator. So I'm doing this. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. And the denominator, 3, stays the same. And so does that, y plus 7. I didn't mean to cross it out, but y plus 7. And equals, and that denominator is going to stay down there, 6. So all I have left to do is multiply 6 times 5, which is 30. Okay, now this is a lot easier once I do this. 6 divided by 3, negative 2, times y plus 7 equals 30 divided by 6 is 5. All right. Now, I'm going to multiply what's outside the parentheses times what's inside the parentheses. So, negative 2 times y, negative 2y. Negative 2 times 7, negative 14. Remember, I was going to have that plus a negative sign, so I just made it minus. And nothing's happening to that 5 equals 5. All right. Now, let's solve it. Once you get it, all this other stuff is to just make it a two-step equation. Once it's a two-step equation, you've won the battle. Because once it's here, it's always the same. Add to get rid of the constant and divide to get rid of the coefficient. So I'm going to add 14 to get rid of this constant. And what do I get? Negative 2y minus 14 plus 14 is 0 equals 19. Okay, that's not so bad. Divide by negative 2. There we go, divide by negative 2. And I'm going to leave it as a fraction. And I get y equals 19 over negative 2, or, as I prefer, y equals negative 19 over 2. There it is. Yeah, that is a hot little mess going on there, isn't it? I'm not going to check it. To be honest, I've checked it. I could put it in my calculator. All right, come here, Fancy Nancy. Come here, Dano. I know what you're thinking. Oh no, what is that? This is my for real at home calculator. And yeah, it's a bit of a hard case. And I'm going to put this in here because it's probably, you know what? Don't do that, Bono. I checked it. It works. It's negative 19 over 2. I promise. I'm not, like messing around with you or anything. I just want to get onto this problem. You try this problem. Okay. I hope you tried it. I really do. Now, I have an exponent. I have a denominator. I have to get rid of that denominator. So, I'm going to multiply times my least common denominator, 2. And remember, a lot of this does not get multiplied. The denominator does not get multiplied, and what's in the parentheses does not get multiplied. It's just the numerator and the number on the other side. So, 2 times negative 1/2 is negative 2 over 2. And this stuff, that denominator shouldn't be green, it should be black. And then this, 3m minus 8, that does not change. That stays the same. And then 2 times 10, which is 20. Oh, I forgot the equal sign. Here we go, equals. All right. 2 over 2 is 1. Don't lose that negative, though. It's negative 1 times 3m minus 8 equals 20. Now, negative 1 times 3, negative 3m. And here it is. I've been waiting for this. This is negative 1 times minus 8. But remember, I could always change it to plus a negative. And then it's negative 1 times negative 8. Or I could just grab that sign in front of the number and do that. Negative 1 times negative 8 is plus 8 equals 20. Whatever is right in front of the number is its sign. So if that says minus 8, it is exactly the same as negative 8 for our purposes. And when you get older, things change. But right now, yeah, that's a negative 8. So let's solve it. It's a two-step equation now. I have a coefficient times a variable plus a constant and an answer. Here we go. Minus 8 from both sides. Negative 3m plus 8 minus 8 is 0. Don't forget the m, Bono. Equals 20 minus 8 is 12. divided by negative 3, divided by negative 3, and what do I get? M equals 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. Okay. And you can't see it, but it is. It's negative 4. Now, throw that in a calculator and check it. Make sure you're right. It's right. I know it's right. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. Half of 4. Yeah, it's going to work. Is it? What did I do? Did I make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? Let's see. 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 12 and negative 8 is negative 20. And negative half of negative... No, it's right. Okay. I just checked it in my head, and sometimes my head has been known to make mistakes. Oh, look at that. We have all kinds of decimals. You know, we could get rid of the decimals if we multiplied by 10, because, you know, this is 4/10, and that is 5 6/10. You want to get rid of some decimals? Let's do that. I know I didn't do this in class, but, you know, it's just another way to do it. So the least common denominator here is 10, because these are both tenths. So I'm going to multiply by 10. 10 times 3, 30x, minus 10 times 4/10 is 4. Nothing happens to this. It's inside the parentheses. It's kept safe. 5 minus 2x equals 56, because, again, 10 times 5 6/10, it's 56. Okay, let's try this, see what happens. Remember, suck up that sign that's right in front there. So the 30x stays the same. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Negative 4 times, grab that sign, negative 2 is positive 8x equals 56. All right, combine like terms. Here we go. 30x plus 8x minus 20 is 56. Well, 30x plus 8x is 38x. Minus 20 is 56. Okay, finally, I'm at a two-step problem. That was a lot of work to get to a two-step problem. All right, let's add 20 on both sides. And 38x equals 76. Huh, look at that. I can divide by 38. And look at this. 76 divided by 38. X equals 2. I love it when that happens. All right, you try. Turn it off and just try. This happens to be a little bit of an easier problem. Honestly, there's no decimals. You don't have to do the least common denominator thing. It's a better problem. So, 4 times x, 4x. 4 times 2 plus 8. Now remember to grab that sign right in front of the 2. 2 times x plus 2x. Grab that sign right in front of the 4. Negative 2 times negative 4, positive 8 equals 32. Nothing changed over there. Now I'm going to rewrite it and put my like signs together, because my like terms together makes it easier for me. Here we go. 4x plus 2x plus 8 equals 32. Well, let's see. 4x plus 2x is 6x. And 8 plus 8 is 16 equals 32. I feel like I lost a sign somewhere. You did, you big doofus. That's not a plus 2. That's a minus 2. Look. Negative 2x. Oh, golly, that would have been bad, huh? 4 minus 2x, well, that's only 2x. Fix these things, Bono. Do you have any whiteout? No whiteout. The drama is real. All right, now I have, get rid of that altogether. 4x minus 2x is 2x, plus 16 equals 32. By the way, did you notice when I scribbled it out, I kind of left it so that you could read it? Do that when you take a test. Because if you do your work wrong, but there's like some correct work with just a little scribble over it, I can still read it, I'm going to give you credit for some of that. Yeah, just leave it so I can see it. Let's see, minus 16 from both sides. This is better. All right, 2x equals 16. And the inverse of multiply by 2 is divide by 2. And 16 divided by 2 is 8. X equals 8. Let me just quick check that one in my head. 8 plus 2 is 10 times 4 is 40. 8 minus 4 is 4 times 2 is 8. 40 minus 8 is 32. It works. Yay. Phew. I remember to bring my other calculator home. Okay. What's happening here? I have a negative sign in front of my, look at that. You know what that means. That's invisible math. That means that this is negative 1. So keep the 4x, don't lose her. But now, negative 1 times 10 is negative 10. And remember, there's a 1 here too. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1x equals 15 over 2. 7.5. Oh, Bono, did you really just do that? Did you change that to a decimal in your head? Yeah, I did. Sometimes I do that. I want to see if it works. All right, rewrite this. 4x minus 10. Oh, whoops. 4x plus 1x minus 10 equals 7.5. 4x plus 1x is 5x minus 10, 7.5. I'm going to add 10 to both sides, plus 10, plus 10. And what do I get here? 5x equals 17.5. All right. Divide by 5. 5 divided by 5, 1x. And let's see, 5 goes into 17 3 times. And then you would have 2.5 left over. And 5 goes into 2.5 times. So I get 3.5. And if you want to leave it as a fraction, x equals 7 over 2. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. That looks good. Let's see. 7 over 2 times 4 is 14 minus, oh my gosh, it works. Because 10 minus 7 over 2 is really 6.5. And negative 6.5. And let's see. 14 minus 6 is 15 over 2. That works. Yay. All right, you try this one. I won't look. Turn it off. Turn off the video. All right. I hope you did that. The first thing you need to know is this is negative 1. And the first part is easy. 8 times x, 8x. 8 times negative 3 minus 24. Negative 1 times x, negative x. And negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3 equals 0.7. You know, I could multiply this times. I'm not going to. All right. 8x minus 1x plus 3 minus 24. 8x minus 1x is 7x. 3 minus 24 is negative 21 equals 7/10. All right, the inverse would be to add 21 to both sides. And I'm going to put a decimal and a 0 because I want my stuff to line up nice. 7x minus 21 plus 21. 7x equals 21.7. Divide by 7 on both sides. And what do you get? Well, 7 goes into 7 once, I get x. 7 goes into 21 3 times. 7 goes into 0.7 once. 3 1/10. And that is looking like a good answer to me. All right. Oh my gosh. This is the longest video I've ever made. Let's finish this up. Let's do number 5. Well, this one I actually am going to get rid of the 4. So, LCD 4. But I'm kind of going to do something I haven't done before. I'm going to put parentheses around each of these pieces. You'll see why in a minute. So, here's my LCD, and I'm going to multiply everybody here times 4. So, 4 times 3/4 x. 4 times 3x over 4. Now, I didn't multiply it. You saw me not multiply yet. Here we go. And then 4, got my minus sign, sorry, times 2x plus 1 over 4 equals 4 times negative 1 5/10. That's interesting. 4 divided by 4 is 1, 3x. 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. But I'm keeping that 2x plus 1 in parentheses because that negative has to get distributed. Equals 4 times negative 1 5/10. That's 6. That's not so bad at all. So now I just take this little guy, negative 1 times 2x times 1. What did I get? 3x minus 2x. Negative times positive, minus 1 equals 6. Combine like terms, 3x minus 2x is just 1x minus 1 equals 6. Add 1, x equals 7. Could it be that easy? Yeah, it really could. All right, that wasn't easy, I lied. But just go slow, step by step, get rid of the denominator first, and try it. You know the LCD for the next problem is 3. Do the thing with the parentheses and get rid of those denominators, and you will do just fine. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here that I did over here. Let's add our own parentheses. Here we go. Parentheses, parentheses, parentheses. And the LCD is 3. So I'm going to multiply everybody times 3. So, you know what, Bono? You shouldn't have these problems so close to each other. Because really, what you're doing is you're making a mess. Let's just separate those. That's a little better. Here we go. So now I have 3 times 2x over 3 minus 3 times 2 plus x over 3 equals, come on, Bono, equals 3 times negative 4. Ha! I could do that canceling thing now. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Bring down the 2x. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. Bring down the 2 plus x in parentheses. Equals 3 times negative 4, negative 12. Now, what do I have to do? I have to distribute this negative 1. Negative 1 times 2. Oh, I almost lost that negative 2x. That negative 2x comes down. Negative 1 times 2 minus 2. Negative 1 times x, negative 1x, equals negative 12. Now I got to move some stuff around so I can combine like terms here. 2x minus 1x minus 2 equals negative 12. Okay, well, let's look at this. What am I doing here? Oh, blue. 2x minus 1x is just x. Well, it's 1x, but you know. Minus 2 equals negative 12. I'm going to add 2 on both sides. Plus 2, and I get x equals negative 10. And wow, wasn't that quite a lot of work. All right, let's shrinky-dink that down a little. And yeah, those are some hard problems. You did good, though. You stayed with me the whole time. So we will do better tomorrow. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.